I saw one video, I kid you not, was 48 types of men you don't want to date. 40. I wasn't aware that there were even 48 types of men. I thought there was like about three, right? And the overriding category of the one type of man is food, sex, and peace. And you're pretty much going to have a happy life if you can provide your man with that. So if you watch this channel at all, you'll notice that about half of the videos that I do are reviews of other people's videos. Now, I do that for two reasons. Number one, I like watching other people's content, and it gives me kind of an idea of what you all are listening to out there, and it gives me an opportunity for commentary. And number two, the truth of it is that YouTube's algorithm tends to pay far more attention to videos where I'm talking about other people's videos than if I just come on here and talk on my own. And every once in a while, I just need to do one it's really is a video review without reviewing any one particular video. So if you peruse YouTube at all, especially in the men's space, you're going to come across the narcissist videos. And heaven forbid you actually click on and watch one of them, and then the next 50 videos are all going to be about narcissism. And it's a plague. It is a plague of accusations and simple finger pointing. So what do I mean? Title of the video is something to the effect of how we all became narcissists, or why we're all narcissists. And if you watch enough of these videos, and there's no one culprit. It is men, it is women, it is coaches who have maybe a little bit of a background, it is doctors, it's all across the board. But if you add up, if you just made one long cumulative video with all of the reasons and all of the red flags and all of the signs that somebody is a narcissist, basically all of human behavior makes each one of us our own narcissist. But one of the main things, one of the standard issue reasons, red flags that make somebody a narcissist across most of the videos tends to be, depending on the POV of the creator, either mansplaining or they are dominating the conversation. And then they will go on to give examples of this. And most of the time I'm left scratching my head. And what I have come to realize is the abundance of narcissism and the abundance of narcissists is not necessarily because we've all become narcissists. It's because many of us, a lot of us, have kind of lost the ability to hear something that we don't want to hear, or to actually listen to somebody that might actually have a little bit more information than we do ourselves. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, the back button. The back button. If you don't like what I'm saying right now, you can hit the back button. If you go to the next video and you don't like that, you can back out, skip out. You don't have to hear. We have raised an entire generation, and even people that are my age that have just become addicted to the internet. We've got an entire population of people that cannot hear something that they don't want to hear, that goes against what their beliefs are, that goes against what they thought they already knew, or even something that sounds like the person who's speaking thinks they know more than the other person. Well, we all do. We all do. I know more than you, and you know more than me, depending on the subject. And that's a universal truth. But what are we preaching? What do we hear nowadays? What are we told? What is being shoved down our throat? Equality, right? And unfortunately, what that has equated to in some people's mind is the equality of opinions and ideas and facts. And what I mean by that is that if you ask me a question about something that I know a lot about, and I give my answer and you don't like the answer, you're likely to say that I'm mansplaining or I'm dominating the conversation, when in reality, I'm just passing on the information that I know. And it goes both ways. When I say I'm smarter than you or you're smarter than me, it just depends on the subject. All right. If you want to ask me about fishing on the East Coast of Florida, I could go into about a 3-hour long dissertation without taking a breath. Okay. I'm not saying I know everything there is to know, but if you are new to that, I could sit down and tell you 80% of what you're going to need to know, and probably everything you're going to need to know in terms of how to get started. Same could be said. Maybe you know about computers. Maybe you know about fixing cars, something I have absolutely no interest in and no knowledge about. Okay. I know how to fix a car. You make enough money to pay somebody else to fix a car. That's how you do it. Right. But what has happened now is that we are so addicted to not just the internet, but we're so addicted to the quick fix. It's like, I need to hear something that validates my opinion. I need to hear something that justifies what I think and what I feel and what my actions are. And immediately, if we put on a video and we don't watch it, I don't want to hear that. How many times have you said it? We've all done it. I've done it. You've done it. I don't want to hear that. That back. And we go out. Now, that doesn't mean that it doesn't register with us at some point where we're like, they might have been right. Maybe they were right. I know throughout my life, I have a ton of examples that I can go back to where people have said stuff to me and I want to punch them. I want to smack them upside the head for saying that to me, but don't, because sometimes people are right. Sometimes people do know more than you do and have a better way to explain things and have more information. So this whole narcissist trend, to me, I'd like to just take it and throw it in the garbage, because if you watch enough of these videos and you are taking advice from these videos, you will eventually find that I saw one video, I kid you not, was 48 types of men you don't want to date. 40. I wasn't aware that there were even 48 types of men. I thought there was like about 3. Right. And the overriding category of the one type of man is food, sex, and peace. And you're pretty much going to have a happy life if you can provide your man with that: food, sex, and peace. Yeah, that's it. I thought I left out peace. I'm so used to not getting peace, I thought I left it out. The point is that while there is a lot of content on YouTube that's very valuable, okay, and it is fine to go in and try to, if something is going on in your relationship, and you want to find a video or find content to see, is this person agreeing with what I'm feeling? Is there anybody else that's experiencing this? Yes, I agree with that tactic. Now, what's happening is a lot of people are watching content and they are becoming disappointed and unhappy in their relationships where they weren't before, because they watch a video and so he's a narcissist if he's dominating the conversation, if he mansplains something to me. Oh, well, geez, last time I asked him a question, he had a really, really long answer for me, and I had a hard time getting a word in edgewise. Yeah, because you asked the man a question. We're fix it. That's what we're going to do. If you ask us a question, we are going to give you an answer that we're either not going to answer you because we don't know, or we're going to give you an answer that's the best of our ability and the best of our knowledge how to fix the problem that you have. So my suggestion is to, first of all, how can I put this? Ignore the narcissistic videos, except for this one. Watch this one. But the point is that if you're going to YouTube for advice, if you're going to these coaches for advice, and that is the other thing before I finish that point, in years past, before you got in front of people to give people advice, before the internet, you had to get TV, making maybe a speaking engagement at a college or something like that. You had to have some kind of credentials, some kind of provable experience. You were vetted. Why should we listen to you? Well, here's my experience. Okay, I'll have you on for an interview on my TV show, my radio call-in show, whatever. Now, everybody got a phone. Everybody's got a camera. Everybody's a star. Doesn't matter how It don't matter how smart you are, how dumb you are, how good your ideas, how bad. It doesn't matter. You record, post, and people are going to see you. And what's happened now in these days is that, everybody's a coach, right? Okay. Everybody's a coach. Everybody's an influencer. Everybody's a content creator. And in many ways, that's a good thing because we can all learn from each other. But the flip side to that is it gets awfully dangerous when you're happy in a relationship and you start watching these videos and now you're becoming unhappy with something that you were content with because they said, well, that person said, well, this person said, well, most of these people are full of shit. And that's the truth of it. Okay. Or if they're not full of shit, they are, and I don't mean to insult anybody young, but it's just a fact of life. When you're 20, you haven't been 30 yet. When you're 30, you ain't been 40 yet. And trust me, by the time you get to be 50, You've been 30 and 40 and you ain't looking forward to 60. Each 5 or 10 years, you are going to look back at yourself and go, what a dumbass. So the other part to that is that if you're taking advice from someone who seems a little bit young for the number of experiences that they are claiming to have, while they may have had some of those experiences, they may also just be taking this person's content and this person's content and combining it to give their own message. If you're happy in your relationship, that's a good thing. You don't go looking for trouble. Don't go looking for trouble in these videos and in this content where you're hearing something. You say, well, you didn't realize, right? I've seen that comment before. I've seen people make comments in videos, well, I didn't realize this was a problem. Well, if it wasn't a problem, it wasn't a problem. Now, there are things that are, in quote, red flags and all this, and there are, again, in quotes, real narcissists. But basically what it's come down to now with the amount of content that's on YouTube especially, and I don't even peruse Instagram and TikTok, so I can't imagine. But basically, if you take 10 videos on narcissism, we're all narcissists. We've all become narcissists, and it's really because we've all become soft and we lack the ability now and the patience and the attention span, right? To be able to sit through a video long enough to hear things we don't like, pick out what we do, what we don't agree with, put in the back of our mind for use when it comes up. Don't use it to ruin your relationship when everything is fine. That would kind of make you a narcissist.